This next part is about the toolbar and about commonly used key commands, but because the first lot of them are all about automation related stuff, I'm going to digress quickly into automation on tracks. So you'll see when we get to read and write, activate all and deactivate all, I quickly want to explain to you some basics of automation in Cubase. This first panel, those are your global controls. So if I have something soloed and something's not, this one unsolos everything or unmutes everything. And this is better seen if I even have a few more tracks. Let's add another 2 mono tracks at the bottom there. And let's make all these bottom ones the same size. Now I might have that one and that one soloed. I can unsolo that all. Similarly, I can have all of that muted and that unmuted all. It doesn't remute or re-solo those ones. So it's kind of a clear all for these buttons that you press. So be careful with that with this R button, because in some projects you might have very specific tracks that are read enabled. And if it's a complicated template, if you press that R at the top, now it enables read for everything and then disables it again, but it doesn't enable just the ones that you had enabled. And I've got some post-production workflows where automation data gets imported from picture transfers from AAFs, and you don't want it, and if you never deleted it, if you untick this R and then retick everything, you can have some havoc. So I would steer clear of this one, unless it's a project you start from scratch, then it's pretty simple to control that. So the suspend read-write animation button, the A one, fixes exactly the problem I just described. Instead of switching off all the individually armed read automation tracks and then enabling all of them again, it just temporarily suspends the ones that you're using, so it doesn't read them and it doesn't mess with which ones you have enabled or not. And then you have the write automation as well. Obviously, to write something, you want to read it again. That's why both of them enable. Now, this is your automation mode. Again, not going to touch on this in this video. So if you already know different types of read and write automation, you'll know what touch and latch and stuff like that means. So no need to explain that. But also automation following events. Let me quickly show you this. If I enable write automation, I'm going to hit play. And then I'm going to play around with a panner for this recorded clip. My panner is over there. Actually, let's do it on the fader there so you can see it better. And it's going to write that automation. So here we go. It is now recording the same boom microphone that you're busy hearing. And you can see there it wrote that envelope or automation on an automation track at the bottom here. Now, if I disable read, it is now recording the same. Obviously, it ignores it. If I enable read, it is now recording the same boom microphone that you busy. It read it. And if I enable write again, it is now recording the same boom microphone that you're busy hearing. Sorry, I shouldn't talk over myself. Because it's on touch mode, it doesn't overwrite that. It only overwrites if I touch something. So have a look at what happens. I'm now in write mode again. It is now recording the same boom microphone that you're busy hearing. Now it overwrote that. In some, if you don't have it on touch mode, if you just have normal write mode, it kind of just overwrites whenever you have this write enabled. Now, if you know anything about automation, it's not just about panning and volume. Absolutely any control that you move on any plugin that can be automated, whether it's a reverb amount or all sorts of advanced things. But this is a simple example, and obviously you can also write this manually. You can add nodes there, you can drag them, you can delete them. Cubase has also got a very nice shape that you can change there, or you can take the entire section and move that up and down, and you can click and drag and delete all the information on that block. You'll see on my track here, this is a little bit indented there. If I mouse over to the bottom left corner, it says show hide automation. Now it will, if you click that, show the ones that I've used. So let's quickly automate 2 things. So let's write again. It is now recording the same boom microphone that you're busy hearing. I faded out and I panned to the right. So now you can see it's showing both of those, and I can hide all of them. And if I click on show, it shows me all the used automation. Now you can do that with a lot of tracks. So I can hide that, and I can choose all my tracks, right click, and say show used automation on selected tracks. So it'll expand all of them and show you where you've got automation lanes. But other than that, you can add these by mouse if you don't want to twist buttons. So if you go to your bottommost automation lane here, a little plus appears, and then it will just add the next one on the list, and there's the standard list of commonly automated things. But if you click on more, you can see that absolutely everything is part of this channel strip, and channel you can automate, whether things send, how much they send, where they pan. If you've got any inserts, it shows up here under insert. I can change the type of reverb or how much it has. And if I don't want to go click into that plugin and twist the button, I can say, okay, now I know I actually want to set how much level on send 1 I want to send. So I can enable this, the track appears, and now I can draw stuff. So that is a very useful feature to automate everything quite quickly. So that's more than one way to do that. So that's some basics of automation.